Hello, everyone. Glad to see each of you tonight. I'm going to give you all a few more minutes to get on. Hope you all enjoyed the conversation. Hey, Connie, how you doing? Good to see you. Well, I don't see you, but I see you're tuned in. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Waiting on my co-host tonight to get in. All right, who else? Hey, Jawante, good to see you on. Christy, good to see you. Hello, how are you? Y'all invite your friends. We got some good post conversation. Again, we talked about some good. Hey, girl, you in here? Can you see me?
Hi, yeah, I see you.
Great.
What
Well,
you
we
need to
have
say?
a couple of people already on, so we're just gonna kind of give them a minute to kind of get in. Invite someone to join this conversation with us tonight.
Thanks.
Uh, I'm so glad that we were able to wrap up your youngest son's wedding this weekend.
Yes. Last one. Thank the Lord.
The last one.
Yes. Thank the Lord.
Yeah, it was a very nice ceremony. Oh, I love the location. It was cold, but it was a very nice location out there, wasn't it? I can't hear you, Janine. Can you hear me? All right, y'all, just give us a minute. We may be having a little bit of technical difficulty. Hey, Janine. That's another Janine. Janine Grimsley. Hi, how are you? Uh, we're going to give some others a little bit more time to get on while Sabrina Janine is going through her technical difficulties. Listen, while we're waiting on her to join, I ask you if you have questions or comments, if you watched the conversation, you had something you wanted us to elaborate more on, I ask you to type it into the comments. We will definitely address those issues and concerns. If you did not get to watch the entire conversation, or if you haven't seen the conversation, I do suggest that you go to YouTube and you should be able to find it, or Facebook. Hey, Shonda Kelly, how are you? But yes, because these are some topics that, we as women, we need to discuss. Hey, you never know. We may come up with some answers tonight that may help others that you come into contact with. Hey, Sister Joanne, how you doing? Good, good. So, also, hey, Melanie, how are you? Good to see you joined. Want to ask you all, listen, like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Invite others to join because we have some more amazing conversations coming up. And next week, I got a treat for y'all. So, look, go ahead and invite as many people as you can to go ahead, get signed on, and connected with amazing conversations, evangelical faith, vision ministries, everyone to connect so that we can continue to share this conversation and spread the information that we're sharing. Hey, Clara, how are you? Good to see you on as well. Sabrina, can you hear me? You can hear me? I can't hear you. She is getting her volume tuned in, which hopefully it won't take that long. I hope everyone is enjoying this nice spring weather. Of course, this pollen, that's a whole nother conversation right there. But, I thank God for the beautiful sunshine, and hopefully the weather will get better as it relates to the temperature. Actually, it was pretty nice today. Hey, Sabrina, can you hear us now?
Not yeah. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes, darling. We hear you clearly.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Listen, we have several people already on. Hey, Rhonda, glad to have you on with us tonight. We have several people already on, and we want to continue the conversation. I see your nails; they look good. Where
I gotta get a
you
different.
go, y'all? She left me on camera by myself.
Okay.
There you go, pretty lady. Okay, but we want to talk about the conversation some more, and I'll tell you, I was getting excited, Sabrina, because when you started talking about, well, so many things you was talking about, but let me start here. Even with your book, They Call Me a Fool. I don't know how many of you all started watching Aretha Franklin's movie last night. Janine, Brina, have you started seeing that? Did you see that?
No.
It premiered last night, and she has this song called "I Never Loved a Man the Way That I Love You." And then, of course, you know Mary J. Blige. She got her song "Mr. Wrong," you know. And I was thinking about with that book that you wrote, They Call Me a Fool, and I was like, you know, it's a all of us have been somebody fool at one time or the other, whether we admit it or not. When you say
That's
so.
right.
I
Yes.
can't hear you. I see you shaking your head. It's something with this volume. But
Mm-hmm.
listen, if you have ever, while she get her volume up, if you have ever been a fool for somebody, and it don't necessarily have to be a relationship, but if you
Yeah.
ever been somebody's fool, I want you to type that in the comments that they called you a fool.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because listen, at one point, whether it was for a man, whether it was for a family member. Look, I even had somebody tell me when they were a child, they wanted friends, when they would literally spend all their money buying candy to share so that they could buy friends, and they eat up all their candy and then they stop being their friend. There you go, Melanie. They call you a fool. That's what I'm talking about. All of us have been called a fool at one point or another. Sometimes, how many of y'all have been to the store and paid more for something than it was worth? Y'all know that salespeople was laughing to us and they called, oh, that's a fool. Y'all know
Yeah.
it. Whether we admit it or not, it has happened. Yes, I see several of you. You thinking about it now. When they called you a fool, because it has happened. But
Yes.
the thing about even with this book that she wrote, and she was talking about, I still can't hear your volume, so I'm hoping our producer is getting the volume turned in.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Sabrina?
I can hear you. You can't hear me.
No, I can't hear you, but
You
okay. We're gonna
cannot
get your
hear me.
volume situated. But
Okay.
even in the book, and if you haven't gotten the book, I saw some comments where people were saying that it's a great book, a great read. And I know that I've read the book. It's a good book. And if you want it, then she definitely has additional copies and she can tell us how to get it. Can you hear me, Sabrina?
Yes. Can't you? So you still can't hear me?
Test, test. Hey
Can you hear
Laura,
me now?
Miss Francis, can y'all hear Sabrina? If you can hear Sabrina, type in the text that I hear her. I can hear you both. Okay, Christy. Thank you. So yes, so they say they hear us both. I can't hear
Okay.
you, but
Okay.
we're gonna work on getting that squared away. Actually, I see two pictures of you now. How did that
I
happen?
don't know. Cause I got my phone on, so I guess then I got my iPad, so I don't know what do I need to do.
So they can hear you. I can. I guess we'll get all this situated soon. But I want you to just kind of elaborate even more on the book when you talked about them calling you a fool. How
Yeah.
did that make you feel, or when did you realize that I'm a fool? If that makes sense.
Well, I didn't consider myself a fool. I know I that's how I felt. I felt like that they were looking at me and calling me a fool because of the fact that everything that I would hear people say, and some of the things that they would say to me themselves. And of course, my children, they were constantly telling me, "Mama, you you looking like a fool, you acting like a fool." So that's when I knew that people were calling. Because if my children saying this, then other people feeling like this. And that's when I began to recognize that that's what people were saying about me. Because your children will come back and tell you what people say. They were definitely telling me what other folks were saying about me and how they were talking about me, how I was looking. My children were talking and letting me know
Mm-hmm.
they felt like I was a fool, that I was looking like a fool to them. So it was just all of that was part of what was going on with me.
Yeah, and I see a lot of times, and I think you and I have talked about it before. Sometimes God will use our situation or put us in certain situations and circumstances where it'll seem as if we're a fool or we're doing things that we may not feel real good about it at the time and may not even notice it. But when you get on the other side of it, then you see, okay, God, you allowed me to go through that so that I can help somebody else. And I see Arita Register posted. She say, they call me a fool as a tool to help minister to ladies,
Hmm.
which is very important because again, we're talking about ladies, but y'all know it's some men that's been a fool too.
Hmm.
I think we're getting a lot of feedback. Hold on. Echoing and feedback. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now?
I can hear you.
We are having major technical difficulties. This is such a good conversation. I don't want to stop talking. Okay, I see somebody say they can hear me. Now I'm missing my co-host. Well, y'all look like we may have to pick this conversation up when I can get with Sabrina because I don't know why everything is not flowing correctly. Okay, hey Lasita, I see you saying you can hear, but we're getting a lot of echo in the back. Sabrina, can you hear me? Rhonda says she can't hear. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Well, ladies, it looks as if we are going to have a session. I don't know when we're going to be back in. Hopefully, we'll get together again in June. And we may have to just sit down and have like a round table discussion about this topic because if something's happening, I don't know what, but I just know that there are some issues that my producer is really trying to work out. One more time. So, while we're waiting on her to get that together, anybody else have any questions? Lasita, we love you too, girl, from Mississippi. All right, Rhonda. Rhonda say, don't end it. Okay, Rhonda, let's talk, girl. Give me some questions. What y'all want to talk about? Give me some feedback. Because again, listen, thank you, Quiz. Again, this is one of these topics where, like I said, sometimes God will have you in a position where you may go through something. You may not even understand why it's happening to you. But on the other side of it, you see that He allowed you to go through it so that you could help someone else. Because as I stated at the top of this conversation, all of us have been a fool for somebody. And when Sabrina wrote that book, of course, she was writing it from her perspective based off of what she had dealt with and what she was experiencing. And I'll tell you, ladies, listen, a lot of times, especially in relationships, just as we talked about on the conversation, when you really want something, you will hold on to whatever tidbit that somebody is giving you. Whether, and okay, this ain't all that I want, but some is better than nothing. And I know my husband would oftentimes talk about how his daddy used to say a piece of stick is better than no stick. So a lot of people have been involved in things that they may have called a relationship. And it wasn't necessarily a relationship. They were the only one in that relationship. you know. They say many times we go through because we don't want to wait on God. That's exactly right, Sister Melanie. We don't want to wait on God. We like, God, hurry up. And I've been waiting long enough. And Sabrina even said it in the conversation. She said after she got divorced, she said she was ready to get remarried real soon after that for various reasons. Y'all know. It says, Lucita says, yes, ma'am. When I was on crack cocaine, I definitely looked like a fool. Whole time it was for me to go through for somebody else. God be glorified. Absolutely, Lucita, because I'm telling you, girl, you look good. And I didn't even know that you had gone through that. But you see how God allowed you to go through it, and now you on the other end and you can help somebody else. I can't witness to somebody from a personal perspective as it relates to what does it feel like to be on drugs. I can't do that. I can only go by what I've read and what I think. But when you have a personal experience or you have a personal knowledge of something, then there comes a certain amount of fervor that comes when you deliver, and you can really help somebody. So, we can't always get caught up in our situation. Oh, Lord, woe is me. You have to think about, God, I don't know why you chose me for this task. I don't know why you allowed this to happen to me, but I thank you for delivering me. Now let me take my deliverance and turn around and try and help somebody else. That's what it's all about. And when we get to the point where we can embrace that, then you can get to the point, even as Sabrina did, and write a book, or you can start testifying, because that's really what her book is about. She testifying about how they called her a fool, but she ain't no fool no more, because she said, I woke up and I realized that's not what God had for me. And that's how we all need to be. We all need to get to a point where we realize that God has something so much greater and better for us. I love that song. I believe it was K1 that would sing that song. He said, or maybe that was Quentin Gamage, I believe that's who it was. And he used to sing that song. He say, my God is big. His plans for me is greater than even I can imagine. When you understand that God has a plan for you in your life and you live it and you walk in it, y'all, I'm just trying to tell y'all will start seeing just doors opening what you once thought may have been closed, but you'll start seeing these doors open, and you'll realize that you have the ability to live your best life. Let's see. Bobby says sometimes we have lost our identities and have to be healed, and then let Jesus, the healer, be glorified. Absolutely. Many people have lost their identities or gotten caught up in various things, relationships, or just situations. But again, when you allow God to heal you and you recognize, hey, I am a child of God. I am a king's kid, and I do not have to live beneath my means. Listen, even down to the conversation when she has the sticky notes. I told y'all know we talked about the sticky notes. And I'm telling you, I really thought something was wrong with my sister at first. I'm just telling y'all because everywhere I went, she had sticky notes over the mirrors, the bathroom, her bedroom, her car dash. But when she explained it to me, and she said, anytime those negative thoughts would come to my head, she said, all I had to do was focus my attention off of that thought and look at something. Hear me? Hey, y'all can't hear me? Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Somebody let me know if you can hear me. The devil don't want me to say this, but this good information. You right. Definitely a round table discussion reader. And I'm so ready to have that conversation. Can y'all hear me? Yes, that's right, Queez. The devil is trying to stop us. Woo! We back in. I'm waiting on my sister. Where you at, Sabrina? Come back in. But anyway, what's the last thing y'all heard me say? The devil trying to stop us. We can hear you now. Hey, Reynolds. I don't know whether that's Annie or Leroy, but we're glad to have you on here with us tonight. But, a lot of times, as I was stating, the enemy, he will come in and he will try and distract us and put our minds focusing on something that adds no value to us, zero value. All the negative thoughts. Hey, Neitha, that's right. He bring all those negative thoughts to us. And when you can do, even as Sabrina mentioned, she said, I was to a place where, I wanted to encourage myself, but I was so deeply depressed. God had to help me. And when she started placing those scriptures and sticking those around, that I'm telling you, that was the cheapest form of counseling. But she said it herself. It was one of the most effective ways of counseling. I see you, Sabrina. Can you hear us?
Yes. Can
All
you hear
right, y'all.
me?
Back in. Yes. Yes.
Right.
But I was just sharing with the people, the ladies and whoever else is tuned in, about even when you were talking about those sticky notes. and how God he helped you when you did those sticky notes, because I was sharing with them, sometimes you can be riding down the road and a negative thought come to you just off of a song.
Yes.
But when you have those scriptures in place, it redirects your attention. It gives you something else to focus on. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's so important, especially given the fact, listen, all this stuff that's going on with COVID and the pandemic, people not being able to do what they normally do, and just out of their elements a lot. We need some positivity. All these
Yes.
negative thoughts gotta go, Sabrina.
That's right.
So, I told them, I don't know if you heard, but we need to have a face-to-face conversation. And I know that y'all, let me go ahead and tell y'all. So next Monday, we're gonna have girlfriend check-in. And it's gonna be me, it's gonna be Sabrina, and three more of our girlfriends. So if y'all got questions, y'all got topics y'all want to discuss, we want y'all to go ahead and prepare those and be prepared to log on with us at 7 o'clock. The whole session is going to be live. And then after that, my sister Sabrina has been led by God to come up with something that I thought was just all that. They say I should have made a t-shirt out of it. It's just that good. Sabrina, tell them what it is, girl. What you got coming up?
Are you ready for some gossip? And what God gave me is that during the time, there were so many times I was, thinking about how, doing COVID and doing so many times that you have people, they always gossiping. And God, He put it in my spirit, and He was like, people, they talking about other people, they talking about stuff they shouldn't be talking about. And He said, why don't they talk about me?
Mm.
He said, I want them to, instead of gossiping, I want them to have some gossip conversations. I said, and when he said that, he said, I want them to have some, I want me to be the center of what they discuss and what they talking about. And he said, tell them to get ready for some gossip.
All right.
I said, oh my, and my sister asked me, where did I get that from? I said, it came straight from heaven. It came
Straight
straight from
from.
God, because I've never heard it before. And He was the one that told it to me just like that. Tell them, get ready for some gossip. Stop talking so much about one another. Stop talking about what you done heard. Stop talking about other people's business.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, tell them, I want them to talk about me.
Yes.
I want to be the center of the conversation. So he said, instead of them gossiping, I want them to have some gossip.
So gossip, GOSSIP, which I know a lot of us like to do. I say
Yes.
us because I'm telling you, I enjoy a good cup of hot tea.
Yes. Now I can't hear you. We can't hear First Lady.
What about now?
Yes. Now.
Okay. Okay. All right, I think we're back. See, I'm telling you, it's time for us to get in person. We got to, look. We may have to have a meeting outside in the open air. Everybody bring your own chair so we
Mm-hmm.
can sit down and talk. But I wanted to say about this gossip and testimonies. I was looking at your post that was posted about it,
Yes.
and I was thinking a lot of times people, God has done so many miraculous things in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't let that die. We still, again, it's just like even when we're talking about, going back to even your book, when God allows you to go through certain stuff,
Right.
once you get on the other side of it, then you see, okay, I done made it through. So most of us learn, okay, if I made it through that, now I can kind of guide you through how to make it through it.
That's right. That's right.
And that's what the gossip and the testimony is about.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, some Frony was telling me last week. She said, it's a lady out of the Larry area. I don't know whether she's tuned on, and I'm not gonna call her name, but she's out of Larry who had been talking to one of our members in Albany, and she heard me talking about Connie's testimony, how the devil, how the doctors had diagnosed her with all this, these cancer, and how she was going to have all these procedures. And after prayer and having faith in God,
Yes.
God healed and delivered her body.
Mm-hmm.
And when I shared that testimony, well, that caused one of our members to go out telling that gossiping. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
is.
That's right.
Gossiping. Went out and told this lady who is dealing with a brain tumor,
Wow.
and that encouraged her and built her faith. See, that's what I'm talking about. When
That,
we don't get selfish
that's
and
right.
hide what God has done for us, and we openly share the tea,
That's
then we
right.
don't know how much it's going to bless somebody
That's
else.
right. And that's what God wants. He wants us to make known his deeds and his doing among people. And so many times that's what's going on. And that's what he was telling me. He said they talking too much about other stuff
Mm,
rather than talking about me.
mm,
That's what, as you know, the Bible, the word tells us he's a jealous God. Jealousy is his name. You
yes,
know, by name jealous, they show enough jealous. And
yes.
he's like, I want the conversation, I want their conversations to be about me, not
Mm,
about one another, not about somebody's flaws or shortcomings or how somebody failed or how somebody made a mistake. I want them to, it's so much that I have done for people. I got several testimonies myself,
yeah.
especially since this, this pandemic has come. And I mean, I could tell so many people about how God has sustained me and taken care of me and
Mm,
provided for me and been there, to give me and feed me. And I mean, people sending money to me. I mean, I got so many conversations. And then the main one about how he kept me alive while I was in the hospital in intensive care on the floor where all the people had COVID. And I was constantly hearing them make announcement this person died. That
death bells.
died.
Say death angel just walking down the hall.
Yes, I was in valleys
But
of the
what God
shadow
did for
of
you, sis?
death. Yes.
What God did for you?
And honey, he was protecting me and covering me. And I didn't fear no evil. You hear me? I didn't fear
Yeah.
no evil. I was going to sleep every night. I wasn't worried. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't scared. I was sleeping and resting in him.
Honey, that's
I,
because God had you covered in the blood. That angel had to pass right on by your room.
yes, he did.
Mm.
He was, everything. I mean, right. This one down on right on the same floor with me. This
Mm.
one down, that one down. But and the ladies, and I mean, even the nurses start coming. They saying you doing 70% better than anybody on this floor.
Wow.
I was saying to myself, hey, you don't know who I am.
Come on, girl.
I'm a child of
You know
God.
your identity, don't you?
You don't know.
Yes.
So I got so much that I can talk about rather than to talk about somebody else and talk about, what somebody didn't do and what somebody said and this and that. I got some tea for you.
Oh, girl, honey, look, we finna help somebody. That's what we doing. So listen, God's Sip is coming. What, the 1st of April? What day have you decided yet?
It's gonna be the first Saturday.
Okay.
The first Saturday in April. I don't know what that date is, but
That's April 3rd.
Okay. So the first Saturday in April, I'm gonna be having it on my Facebook page.
Okay.
And I know I'll be I'm trying to get together a new YouTube page, but I'm telling you, it's all about sharing the tea, the goodness of God, what God has done and what God is doing, rather than talking about other people and other stuff.
Well, honey, listen, you already know you right up my alley. I'm telling you, I share so much of God's tea that I tell other folks tea.
Yes, you do.
The right tea now. Y'all I don't tell your private business.
Yes, that's
God does something for you, baby. As Lovey say, baby. If I know about it, I'm gonna tell it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna tell it. Well, listen, sister, I have enjoyed talking to you tonight. In spite of all these technical difficulties we've had, we've still been able to share the message.
Yes.
If you have not gotten the book, They Call Me a Fool.
Yes.
I encourage you. Where can they go? Is it still on Amazon?
No,
Need to.
they don't have it on Amazon any longer. It's been that long. It's been out about 3 years now. But they can contact me, and I'm thinking about trying to do what I need to do to get it back on Amazon. So, but for right now, if they would just inbox me, and get me a message, I have the books on hand.
All right, and then so they can inbox you. You'll share your Cash App or your PayPal, however they can pay.
Yes.
What's the cost of the book?
$12.
12, y'all. Come on, $12.
Yes.
That's definitely worth having because listen, she got some good juicy stuff in there. I don't. Some of it might be a little bit of God tea, but there's some good juicy stuff in there. Y'all know how we like a good read. Look,
Yes.
thinking about starting a book
in there. It's some good tea.
It's some good tea in there. But inbox her on Facebook. Is it Brina Janine?
Yes, that's it. Brina Janine.
Brina Janine. Get your copy of the book. Listen, again, share this conversation. Join us next Monday night for our next live amazing conversation. It'll be me, Sabrina, and a couple more of our girlfriends on, and we are going to talk about some stuff. So we're going to talk about some stuff. And if you have questions or if you have something that you want to talk about specifically, all you got to do is inbox us or message us ahead of time if you can, and we will definitely prepare an answer for you. And I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna have crazy Neitha on the conversation because y'all know my sister Neitha ain't got no sense. Jesus. Look, we got my sister Frowny gonna be on here. Y'all know Frowny. She don't have no feel, so she just say what she wanna say. Ooh, such liberty. And then we're going to have my friend Latasha Brown is gonna be on. Y'all know we did our conversation first season, but we were unable to do the post show. So we're gonna wrap all that up together and do all of that next Monday. So join us, and we are looking forward to having a good time with each of you. Sabrina Janine, I love you dearly.
I love you more.
Oh, I look to see and talk to you soon. All right, Facebook, y'all have a good night. We're out of here.
Okay.